When roaming a dungeon, you must be prepared. You must have your wits about you. You must be clever, and you gotta be ready to roll that d20 no matter what. Whether it's a critical roll or a straight up miss, you've escaped the dungeon and found yourself in the mist. The fog is expanded and have crossed boundaries to a new universe. A universe full of dungeons, dragons, and magic. Aestri, fellow bard, Baermar, and their troupe never back down from any adventure. So guys, we got 2 new survivors. They're called the Troupe. I kind of like the Legion. They're just made up of 2 characters right now. That's going to be Aestri Yazar and Baermar Uraz. They're coming into the fog with the Chapter 32 Dungeons & Dragons DLC that'll be released on June 3rd, 2024. So just 3 days to go. So with that said, I kind of just want to dive into the lore. I want to see how these characters found themselves in the fog and what was going on with them prior. Real quick, their personal perks do include Mirrored Illusion, Bardic Inspiration, and Still Sight. This allows them to create illusions, help others repair generators quicker, and see nearby generators, totems, and chests. It does seem like gen rushing is the new meta, and this kind of affirms it. If you've noticed, the last few survivors we got kind of focused heavy on generator repair, and hey, as a survivor main, I'm all for it. Alright, let's get into the lore. Aestri and Baermar arrived in the free city of Greyhawk to trade songs and stories with the locals. But what the bards learned during their visit would set them on their final adventure. According to locals and travelers alike, a new magic unlike any other was spreading across the land. The forces of evil were disappearing from every corner of the land, leaving no trace of their malevolence. There was much rejoicing throughout Greyhawk, but Aestri and Baermar felt differently. A bard's purpose in life was to celebrate triumph over adversity. A world without evil would be a world with no new songs to sing. Aestri knew what she had to do. She scoped out the taverns and back alleys of the city, looking for adventurers willing to help her and Baermar find the source of the strange new magic. Many turned her down. Why would she want evil to return to the land? But using her wit and charisma, Aestri was able to inspire enough townsfolk to join her in restoring the balance between good and evil. Together, this ragtag troupe of adventurers traveled through swamplands and under mountains. They were driven out of towns by those who believed the troupe was secretly in league with the evil that had been eradicated. And every so often, folks would be kind enough to provide food, shelter, and most importantly, information. Baermar eagerly wrote down every clue and rumor they heard and concluded that the source of the strange magic must lie near the kingdom of Kayland, where people spoke of an ancient tower emerging from its ruins, being instantly rebuilt bigger and stronger than it was before. Their suspicions were confirmed as the troupe made their way south. Villagers spoke of the tower and its lord in hushed tones, but Aestri knew the place by its reputation. They were traveling to the Rotted Tower, stronghold of the Archlich Vecna. As they drew closer and closer to the Rotted Tower, the troupe could feel the evil magic in the air. They steeled themselves for a fight with Vecna, but were shocked to find the Rotted Tower was completely empty. They made their way up the spiral staircase, passing window after window of shattered stained glass, until they reached the top of the tower. Amidst the debris, Aestri found a hastily written scroll. Baermar was eager to show off his proficiency in arcana. He studied the scroll and realized the words were an incantation, written phonetically. As he sang the words aloud, the tower began to rumble. Black fog crept in through the stone floor. Aestri stopped Baermar from his recitation, but it was too late. The fog took hold of the adventurers, and within moments, they were gone. In this moment, Aestri and Baermar found themselves traversing from their world into the fog. Looking to bring a balance to good and evil, they definitely have bit off a bit more than they can probably chew. With that though, I will quickly get into the perks here. and their loadout. So we have Bardic Inspiration. It's time to give the audience a show. Will you bring the house down or will you choke? Press the active ability button while standing and motionless to enter the performance interaction that lasts up to 15 seconds and empowers other survivors within 16 meters of your location. The empowering effect depends on the result of you rolling a d20 and lasts for 90 seconds after completing the performance. If you roll a 1, you scream, but without notifying the killer. Anything between 2 and 10, skill checks get 1% progression. A roll between 11 and 19, skill checks grant 2% progression. A d20 is going to give you 3% progression. There's a cooldown of either 120, 105, or 90 seconds after completing the performance or canceling it. Mirrored Illusion, a familiar spell made unfamiliar in this corrupted landscape. After repairing generators for a total of 50%, Mirrored Illusion activates. Press the active ability button when next to either a chest, exit gate, generator, or totem to spawn a static illusion for 100, 110, or 120 seconds. I have heard people say that the illusion is not going to get the killer, but I've already seen it in the PTB a couple times where they've fallen for it, so... Last but not least, we have Still Sight. A clear mind and calm temperament will always find the means of their escape. After standing still for 6, 5, or 4 seconds, Still Sight activates. The auras of the killer, as well as any chest and generators within 24 meters of your location, are revealed to you until you start moving again. I don't know about you guys, but Still Sight is kind of the one perk that's got me pretty excited. I think Mirrored Illusion and Bardic Inspiration are interesting. They're kind of novel. I do think they'll be useful, but Still Sight is what really has my attention, and I think is easily the best perk out of the 3. So that is the tale of how Aestri and Baermar found themselves in the fog. Now I do have my Vecna, aka the Lich, backstory and lore video uploaded, so if you guys want some more information on how Vecna found himself in the fog, go ahead and check that out. If you liked the video, consider leaving a like or a sub. It really will help me out with the algorithm, and I am trying to grow the channel, but I want to earn that. I want to make sure it's quality. Also, just go ahead and let me know in the comments of how I'm doing. Any improvements, any tips, any compliments, anything you guys want to talk about, just throw in the comments and we'll go. Let me know what you guys think about the new perks, as well as the background of the characters in the comments. Other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.